How to do, y'all? Welcome to what I feel like is a really strange video, more so than normal. I did something on the 131 the other day and got a lot of comments after I'd asked, like, I got a new truck recently, and I got a lot of comments saying, why aren't you showing the truck? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think anyone care about the truck. You know, like, it got a new pickup. I'm not trying to hide it. It's just we do bikes and upgrades and that kind of crap. And a lot of dudes said, I want to see the truck, number one. Number two, a whole lot of dudes said, I'm from New Zealand or from Germany or for whatever, and we just don't have trucks like that. So would you talk a little bit about this American monstrosity that you drive every day is? So let's spend a few minutes talking about my new bad Chariot. First off, I got some really bizarre borderline hate mail. I do that every day, but this was very brand specific. So I grew up in the Midwest. I understand a family's alignment to an automotive manufacturer. My family's General Motors, has been my whole life. My grandfather on my mom's side, my whole dad's side, GM, Chevy trucks. That's what they drove. My grandfather specifically, GMC. My whole life, GMC. I think that comes from, comment down below if I'm wrong, but you know, my grandfather was born a long ass time ago. He's been gone for 20 some odd years. And when he was younger, there were actual capacity differences between Chevys and GMCs, I believe, 40s and 50s. You know, he was a rice farmer and an engineer on the gas pipeline later in life, and one of those bad MFers that worked hard every day his whole life and needed his vehicle to be as tough as he could, and was. And being a GM family, he used to tell me the GMCs had more weight capacity than a Chevy. That might not be true. This is 40s and 50s. I'm not talking about right now. You know, we all know today they're all the same truck with just different logos on them. But it was actually scandalous. Somebody said, I can't believe you got rid of your Ford and bought a Chevy. It was actually scandalous when I bought a Ford, you know, in reality. And that's a while ago. I had an Expedition, and then the wife took that over, and then I bought my Big Karen. Big Karen was a 2019 F250 diesel. Those of you who are out of the country, what we have is different weight capacities and duty capacities in the U.S. that dictate how much you can tow, how much you can haul, all that stuff. I'm sure you have it there too. I'm just going to, you know, real quickly. So a half-ton truck is your regular light-duty truck. Actually, all these are light-duty, right? Unless you drive like an F600 every day. But a half-duty truck is what you typically buy. The normally everyday person buys a half-ton truck. Which is an F-150, a Chevy Silverado 1500, a GMC 1500, a Dodge Ram 1500, right? And then you've got 3/4 ton, and 3/4 ton trucks, an F-250, a Chevy 2500, a Dodge 2500, a GMC 2500. And those typically is where you get into the whole gas versus diesel option, right? Yes, there are diesels and half tons, but they're like eco motors. They're not about pulling, you know. If you pull, you buy a diesel. The numbers, there ain't no hiding the numbers, man. Like, your typical, you know, gas motor in a 3/4 ton truck is 400-ish horsepower and 400-ish pounds of torque. You know, maybe the new Godzilla is like 400 and 450 pounds of torque, something like that. I don't know. But the diesel in my F-250 Big Karen was 430 or 440 horse and 900 pounds of torque. That's different. You know, that's double the torque. And when you're pulling weight like I do with my RV, you want torque. So that's why you buy a diesel in a 3/4 ton truck. Up from there is you have a 1-ton truck. That is an F350, Dodge 3500, Chevy 3500, GMC 3500. And those available in gas as well. If you get a single wheel, no one does. They all buy diesels in a 1-ton. And then a 1-ton from there, you have an option of having a dually or a single wheel. What I did was I traded my 2019 Ford F250 diesel XLT, fairly basic truck, for a 2022 GMC Denali Sierra HD 3500 single wheel diesel. Why? Honestly, I wasn't married to, like, I'm going GM. I would have bought an F350. You can't get one right now. You can't get nothing right now. There's still no heavy duty diesel trucks on lots right now, at least not in South Florida. I found some F-250s. I found some Ram 2500s. I found a couple of those where, for whatever reason, deals were getting canceled or falling through. That was happening way more often than on 1 tons. There are far fewer 1 tons. That's the other thing, is that when you go half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, there's just fewer each level, right, on the road available. They build a lot fewer of them. So I went to every goddamn dealer within 20 miles of my house, and because their websites say they have a truck, and then you get there and you find out that there's something in the software the manufacturers use that when someone buys a truck, prepays for it, whatever, and orders it, when it goes on a rail car to be shipped to that dealer, it shows in their inventory, even though it isn't. It's sold. It's somebody's truck. So that's what I found out was going on. There were no trucks. They were all sold. Even if it was sitting on the lot, the salesman who sold me Big Karen was like, that's sold, man. It's not available. So anyway, so I'm driving home, and I'm going past Schumacher GMC, and I see 2 silver GMCs sitting there. And I pull in, I'm like, well, they're probably sold, whatever, but it's getting almost desperate. And there were 2 Denali pickups sitting there, one a 2500, one being a 3500. This whole thing is, I wanted a 3500. I wanted a 1 ton. I can't fit a dually in my driveway. It's not wide enough, but I wanted a 1 ton because I was pulling my rig right at the maximum weight capacities of my F-250, and that is not safe. It's not a good idea. You want more truck than what you use, not right up to the limit. And I think that's a lot of things when it comes to RVers, especially if you're not pulling a bulldozer all day, every day, you're not pulling concrete forms, you're not doing Dallas face mold, you're not doing construction work with your vehicle, they may not know, that sort of stuff. So when they're pulling a 12,000 pound RV, they buy a truck that tows a maximum weight of 12,000 pounds. That's not a good idea. You want something that pulls 30% more than that if you're going to roll down the road. Because what happens is, when your weights are off whack, it's not about engine and transmission too. Sidebar. Dudes all the time, well, that thing's strong enough to pull that. You dumb son of a bitch. That's not what it's about. It's not about engine and tranny. It's about the freaking weights of the vehicle. How much does the vehicle weigh? How much tongue weight can it handle? All that kind of stuff. Not about the engine. You can put a goddamn turbo 4-cylinder diesel in these things. It'll probably pull it down the road. That's not the point. The point is going down the road without getting into a sway event, spinning, flipping, killing yourself and 3 other families on the highway. You want something that's safe. And Big Karen was just barely getting her done. And if there's a thunderstorm, I just pull off because she would start to swim, right? So what I found was my GMC. It is a 2022 Denali. I already said that. It's a Denali Ultimate. It's what they had, which of course had to be the top of the line. Like, this is far nicer than anything I would ever buy for myself before, but I felt like it was kind of important to get the weights right. My rig, just has about 12 to 1,300 pounds of tongue weight and weighs about 13.5 when it's loaded with water and clothes and 2 motorcycles. That was, again, at the absolute maximums of an F-250, and it wasn't safe. This truck has a maximum tongue weight ability of 2,100 pounds and can pull a 21,000 pound trailer. So again, I'm 30-40% more than what I actually do, so it's going to feel a whole lot better, and I won't feel like I'm going to kill everybody going on the road. So that being said, let's take a look at her. So some of the stuff this truck has, again, I don't know what's options. I just saw it, and it was way more than I wanted to spend, but I loved it, and I drove it, and I'm like, this must be mine, and so 'tis. But it is a 3-inch, 2.5? I don't remember the receiver, but anyway, it's a class 4, I think, receiver. Using the same hitch, and everything sits at the same height practically as my F2 shitty. So I didn't change nothing to pull the rig. It just went all right on there. It's a 2-piece tailgate. So the tailgate goes down that way, and then also goes down this way, which also, this is a step. Fun little fact for you. What you're supposed to do is drop the the whole tailgate, and then drop the second bit, and then there's a handle there, and you can climb up into bed easy, which is great. The issue is that will hit the ball if you have a hitch on, so you cannot do that tumble and roll the tailgate thing if you actually have your hitch in, which I do 99% of the time. I love the steps. I freaking love those steps that help you get into beds, because that was always a pain with Big Karen. Love the wheels. I always wanted flashy wheels, and those are 20s. Really surprised that these knobby tires are not so noisy. You know what I mean? They look like an off-road tire, but they're fine. I rolled on the road with no drone at all. So some big-ass wheels and tires that look good. These are lights, not just reflectors, so it's all tractor trailery going down the road. You got a step there that'll help you get into the bed up there. Another brilliant thing. Sliding rear window. I bought the tonneau cover, didn't come with it. Chrome door handles, and the only two options this truck doesn't have, literally there's only two options left it doesn't have, is it doesn't have the power retractable running boards, and it doesn't have a fifth wheel setup in the bed already. What had happened with this truck is it was an order, and then the deal went through. I'm sorry, the deal fell through. So that's the only reason I was able to get it, is the guy ordered it, came in, I don't know if it was a financing situation or what, but this truck was ordered specific to somebody's liking, and then they bailed. But silver wouldn't have been my first choice of color, but I don't care. It looks fine, So, running boards. These mirrors are another one of my favorite freaking features of this truck. They're power fold and they're power extend. You just press buttons and they move out. I would always get in my rig, start pulling the camper, and then go, God damn it, I have to get out and pull the mirrors out. But so that's nice. Also got cameras built into it all over the place, and lights, and tons of cool safety stuff. 6.6 liter Duramax. It's like 450-ish horsepower and like 920 pounds of torque or something like that. So I was never worried about that. It's a 10-speed Allison transmission, so should do a good job. So far, the gas mileage just going down the highway is the same as a Ford. It's about 18, 19 on the interstate, and then around town about 15-ish. One of the things I love about it is the grill. I asked if they have a bigger one. They don't. So I asked, could you get a bigger grill? And they're like, no, that's pretty much the maximum. And just to show you the size of this frickin' thing, yeah, like the hood's up to here on me. Another couple styling things I loved about it. I love this frickin' nostril here, even though it's nothing. It's just, it's bullshit, but I love it. Looks great. Big old chrome Denali grill. Chrome recovery hooks, which are important. You need to have those chrome because something. Lower fog lights, didn't have those before. These are funny because there's nothing there. The parking sensors, because of the shortage of chips, they aren't in there. So eventually I'm going to get a letter from GMC saying they're here and bring it in and put them in there. But both the front and rear parking sensors are not in the truck because of some chip shortage thing. So that'll be later. These are all LED strips that are on all the time. The lights are really cool in this thing. What else? Yeah, this side's the same as the other side. The interior is very Cadillac-y, so yeah, I mean, your typical American truck, it's a lot of very plasticky and stuff, but that is actual wood. It's not fake. How about that? Door handles are leather. Black leather, seats that adjust 5 million different ways, forward, backward, up, down, recline. That's lumbar, power lumbar. Added the Husky liner as soon as I got it home. Lots of lights that I'm not sure what they do yet. Like, I know you flip it that way for trailer mode, you flip it that way for off-road mode. Headlights are automatic. That's the bed light. I don't know what that is. Whatever. That's the dimmer buttons, and that's the fog lights on off. This is that whole Denali Ultimate package. It has a heads-up display. So above above the steering wheel on the windshield, it projects how fast you're going, your lane avoidance, what song is playing, all that kind of stuff. Pretty slick. Typical layout, your oil pressure, oil temp, fuel, battery. When you put it in tow mode, the battery gauge changes to your transmission temp, which I think is pretty cool. The only gauge it doesn't have, which irritates me, it has no purpose at all, but it just bothers me, it does not have a turbo boost gauge. My Ford had that, and I don't know why. I liked that. It doesn't have that. Nice big console. It is a split bucket. My old truck was a bench seat. This is an option from GMC, but I bought it on Amazon for like $20, just a tray. Nice big console for your pew-pew. Wireless charging. Just set your phone there and charges it if you got the right phone. It is wireless Apple CarPlay also, so the screen is that size, but I think in 24 they're coming out with a big giant, screen, but whatever, it does the job. Thermostatic heat and air, you set the temperature and it just goes to town with it. Exhaust brake, which is good when you're going through Tennessee pulling the trailer. Lane avoidance, you turn that on and off. Parking sensor, that button's dead right now. A power drop to the tailgate. Trash control, a button that turns on and off the outlet. It has a, actual like residential 110 volt outlet there, and then a regular little, that kind. USB-C and USB. Trailer brake controller to turn the gain up and down. I set mine to about 6, I think. Air conditioning will freeze you out of it. I noticed that. The AC on my Ford just wasn't cutting it anymore in this Florida heat. Bose stereo. And I remember my days working at Circuit City when I was a kid. You know, no highs, no lows, must be Bose. But it does sound pretty damn good. And there's a subwoofer under my seat or something like that. What else? I forgot. Moonroof. Never had one of those. Why? Because I don't ever open it. I haven't opened that one yet. You know, I think, well, actually I take that back. Maybe I did to make sure it works. But got a moonroof. Power sliding rear window. OnStar, which is more of a pain in the ass than it's worth, to be honest. And they're always trying to extract money out of you. The rearview mirror is interesting. When you flip the thing back, it actually activates a camera on the tailgate and turns the rearview mirror into a screen. The whole rearview mirror becomes a computer, like a video screen, and you're not actually looking through the back. You're seeing a screen of what's behind you, which is cool. Has that whole HomeLink built-in garage door opener thing, but I have that, so what the hell do I care about it? The back. Hey, look, $100,000 hat. My obligatory freaking Harley sticker. I haven't put it on the back window yet. These seats fold up. It was funny, I got home and hadn't looked at the window sticker yet, and it said rear storage included, and it wasn't in there, so I had to take it back up there and I had to install it. But I don't know if these are actually that practical, because when they don't fold away like in the Ford. In the Ford, this box folds flat, you know, like it kind of collapses. It's a bit cheesy too, though. And in here I keep tools and, you know, bungee cords and fix-a-flat and that kind of crap. Nice console, cup holders for the little one. Surprised I didn't find any trash back there, because she's notorious for that. USB and USB-C plugs, plus a regular power point. Their rear seats are heated. That's what those buttons are right here, is that their rear seats are heated, which I think is pretty wild. Trying to think of what else. Oh, it's got the lights in the bed. I'll show you that real quick. Before I even drop the tailgate, another thing I forgot. If you look up under there, which I'm not gonna because I'm a fat guy. I mean, maybe I can put the camera to it. It has Rancho Suspension. See? Comes with that. Part of that. I think it's also part of the Ultimate deal or something. So my tailgate is always, if you're an RVer, man, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. We got gas to generator, extra water for the tank, and then 5 gallons of diesel in case I get low on oil and am not going to make the next gas station. It's easier to pull off and throw 5 gallons of diesel in the truck than it is to run out of freaking fuel. And you always got hoses and all that kind of crap. But it's RV stuff. There's that handle that flips up when you use this as a step. But it has LED lights in the bed. It also has a 110 power outlet. Whoop, shiza. Right there. It's pretty cool. You can turn that on from inside the cab as well. So it's got a spray-in bed liner too. Never had one of those. That's cool. And the obligatory cup holders, because all of us who have pickup trucks sit on this tailgate and drink beer or big beer. I don't know why. Thermos, I guess? Yeah, okay. So there's that. I mean, a lot of reasons why I decided to go ahead and do it. I mean, I wanted the more towing capacity. I wanted to feel safer going on the road when I'm pulling my rig. Again, the rig's about 13,500 to 14,000 pounds and about 1,300 pounds of tongue weight. So this is going to pull that better. Secondly, again, not motor and transmission. That's pretty equal, but, you know, weight capacities and all that. I did want a little bit nicer truck. Mine was pretty basic, and I wanted, you know, a nice stereo, and I wanted air conditioning that worked better. So that's nice. Also, the Ford needed tires pretty soon. It needed the rotors replaced in the rear, brakes. It needed, you know. So it was a couple grand I was going to put into the Ford, and I found that one. So I'm like, what the hell, let's do this. Also, I live out of that truck several weeks out of the year. It's going to be a nice place to be. That's all it comes down to. So go ahead and insult me down below. The Ford guys are losing their mind. But again, my family is GM. My grandfather, who to me is an absolute, you know, icon. My mom's dad, he was a 6'4" Cherokee Indian from Arkansas. Grew up a rice farmer and became an engineer. And he was just, you know, his hands are the size of freaking grizzly bear paws, that kind of thing. He was a GMC man. All he drove was GMC pickup trucks. So it was really kind of fun driving home going, I got something my grandfather would truly approve of. My grandfather would love that truck. Like, he'd, you know, be all over it. Another thing is, fun fact, first new vehicle I ever owned in my life, because we were a GM family. I was about 19 years old. My car freaking blew up. I was on my own working full-time and going to school full-time, and I bought a GMC Sonoma 4-cylinder, 5-speed stick, little pickup truck, and financed it with GMAX. So First new vehicle I ever owned was a GMC truck, so got another one. Well, that's kind of fun. So take care of each other out there. Let me, ask questions. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut away from that. Ask questions down below if there's anything you want to know about the truck, or just insult me, whatever, and we can talk about that. So it'll be a lot better ride to Sturgis for sure. So take care of each other out there. We'll talk real soon. Bye.